the method of substitution method of integration, how to solve the integration based problem by using the substitution means. So today I am going to start the substitution method. So as you can see, I have wrote here that indefinite integration can be solved by three means. First by substitution, second by parts, that is islet. I will be talking about that later on. And then partial fraction, f of x, the function that is being given to you, can be broken into two parts, and there is one special format. This is a special format, and partial fraction have 5 formats that I will be also talking on later on, right? So let us focus only on the by substitution methods, right? So let's get started. So here you can see I wrote a formula. This is a very simple formula, but literally it does not make any sense. When I was also student, I used to think what this equation is and how come it makes sense, but you will see later on why it makes sense and how simplistic is this. Know one thing, that the more we make the thing simple, the more it becomes the complex, right? So if you don't know anything about substitution and you just see this very equation, you will try to think that, oh well, it is very easy, or you will think it is very hard, but it is neither of them. It is just a syntax of code, you can think like that and just follow it to just clear the questions, right? So let's get started. So let's see this equation once. Here f of x is given as x dx. The utmost simplest example you will ever get, right? I hope you have seen the previous integration video. If you don't, I will give a card to the link, you can see there, but as of now I am discussing this. So you can see this is a simple example. So I wrote it, give a lower limit value and upper limit value. You don't need to see it because this is indefinite sense, but still for writing purpose I wrote it. And here I wrote a t and then dt, and then initial term of t to final term of t, right? So here I wrote one thing. See, this is the substitution. What substitution means is that when you substitute some value in place of x or y, whatever the function is made of the variable in what the function is made up of. What is the function, you know well, I think so. You must have read it in class 9 and 11 or 12, and there is set theory also that says something like this. This is domain, this is range, right? There are some functions, right? There are some values, sorry, and there is a mapping. This mapping, if there is possible, then this is the very function, right? I think you have the clear idea of this. So whatever the variable on what the mapping is done, from domain, that is x, to range, that is y, that is itself f of x, means function of what variable, that can if be substituted by something else, for example t, that is itself known as substitution. I think I made myself clear to you what substitution is, right? I hope so I made myself very clear to you that substitution means nothing but in a domain to range function, in a domain to range mapping function, when the variable gets altered with some different variable, for this case it is x equal to t, that itself is known as substitution. I hope I made myself clear. And when we put that very context, this very context in terms of the integration function, right? So the integration method, function is a method in itself. Let's not go in that argument, but if we put this very concept here in integration format, you can easily see why it is known as substitution. So I hope I made clear to you that what substitution is basically means. By using the set theory, I have also explained it to you. By means of algebra, I have also explained it to you, and I also wrote the simplest most equation that we will get in any book that defines what is substitution means. So I hope I made the substitution topic very clear to you. So, but by only getting cleared in the theory will not help anything in maths. So let's get started with examples, right? Well, again I wrote the very thing for your clarification. This is domain, this is mapping, this is known as mapping. If it is bilateral, don't think it is too much about it too much. Just it is a one mapping into range, and y is tilde of f of x, function of x. If it is substituted from x to t, this very thing is known as substitution, right? And if that substitution concept can be applied to the integration method, then the very method is known as indefinite integration by the means of substitution. I hope I made myself very clear to you. So let's get started by doing some examples. Well, here as you can see, I wrote a function whose integration's value you need to define. You can see 1 plus x square whole under root by x dx integration, right? As you can see, if you try to do it by algebraically method, maybe you can do it, but maybe it will take 1 page or 1.5 page for you to do it. But let's not get into that argument. Let's think, just we learned that we can change this, right? By doing this you cannot do anything. Let's be very frank about it. By just substituting this we cannot do anything. But what will be the right value of this so that we can solve this one? So the right value is tan theta. Now you ask me why tan theta. As you can see here, you need to find a pattern in every question. Here the pattern is 1 plus x square, right? So 1 plus tan square theta equal to sec square theta, if you can remember the class 10's theory. So this one, right? So let's just put it right there. And one more thing, after x, defining x and t, always define dx and dt. So dx to dx, but what is this? What is the value of it? Let's find d tan theta, d theta. What is the value of it? Sec theta, tan theta, right? Well, there was a mistake of mine that I told sec theta tan theta. Sorry about that. This will be sec square theta, right? So then what we are supposed to do, right? Then we found the dt is what, right? Dt is what? Sec square theta. D theta is dt, right? We need to just substitute it in its place. Means dx equal to eta. Sorry, dt. Don't bother with that dt. Let's talk about dx. Right? You can see it, and we are substituting this value right there, and x's value right there. So this value right here, this value here, and this is the value. You can see the substitution what is ongoing here, right? So let's put those values and let's see what happens. Here how sec theta came, you can easily see 1 plus tan square theta sec square theta whole under root. So this becomes, right, and this is sec square theta d theta of dx, and y tan theta is x right there. So let's not do this one. Let's try it in a different way, right? What is the different way? I will break this again into there. And this one I am going to write in 1 plus tan square theta. Let's see how to do. 1 plus tan square theta divided by tan theta, right? And sec theta multiplied with it, right? Then what we are supposed to do? Just algebraically break it. How? Like this. Right? We broke it algebraically. So what it is, it is nothing but sine theta by cos theta, it is nothing but 1 by cos theta, right? So down up cos theta cancels, 1 by sine theta is nothing but cosec theta, right? Done. And this one is what? Sec theta tan theta. So now you can easily see what is ongoing right here. This value will be sec theta, right? We need to memorize some values as well as, and this is a special case, you need to remember it. It is natural log, sometimes it is written as ln, I write it as like this, mod of cosec x minus cot x plus sec theta, and as it is indefinite integration, you need to always put a integration constant. So I hope I made this question clear to you, right? So I am holding it, do write it, and here do write the equal signs, I forgot to write it. Well, sorry, yeah, I hope I made this question clear to you, right? So the things that you are seeing here, the arrows that are being substituted, this is the basic meaning of substitution. What is substitution? I hope I made the topic clear by the help of this very question, right? You can easily see that after a moment of the question, the whole question is just like the questions you used to do in the prior ones, just like I did to you in the prior video. If you did not see it, and then I would give a link to that in the card, then you can see it right there. And I will be doing one more question today, and so let's see. I hope you wrote this, so I will be rubbing it. Well, as you can see here, I have wrote one thing, that you can do substitution by two means. That is, one is inward substitution and second is outward substitution. I would like to say like that. Means sometimes just like the prior question, you can see there was only x, right? We defined some value for x, and sometimes you will see there are some algebraic functions like this. You need to define them a algebraic value. You can see there is x square plus 1, I defined it as t, and there is x, I let some value, means trigonometric value, to take its place, or maybe some algebraic value also. Let's think about like that. Means sometimes we take this thing as constant and put some variable into it, this thing as variable and put some constant into it, and sometimes we take this thing as constant and substitute some variable into it. Means sometimes t, we define t with respect to x, sometimes we define x with respect to t. I hope you understood this thing. This will come in very handy because both of them are substitution. Means either way you can see, like the chemical reaction, if you read in chemical kinetics, you will see this symbol, right? I hope you see this symbol quite well. A equal to C plus B, right? Well, this is not chemistry class, so let's not talk about that, but means what I meant, I hope I made clear to you. So let's get started. Well, try this question by yourself for 1 minute by pausing and then see the solution, right? Well, I hope you have tried by yourself, and I'm showing the solution, right? So as you saw that I told that there are two types of methods. Either I let one value into it, or I let this value into some variables. So I'll be defining this very question with the help of the second method. I am taking this as t. Let you always write like this in a good manner. X plus 1 dt by dx is nothing but 2x. dt is 2x dx, right? x dx divided by x square plus 1 equal to half of 2x by x square plus 1 dx, right? So I am just doing nothing but substituting the every values. So what happens? This becomes dt, this becomes root t. So I hope from here you can easily solve. Just use the formula. This formula you must know. This is the utmost important formula and the very basic formula you will get. So here n is minus half, so this will be half 2 root t plus c. Just put the value of t into it, that is x square plus 1 plus. So I hope I made this question clear to you. Alright, so this is for today, and thank you for watching, and do subscribe the channel and share it with your friends, and like the channel and subscribe it. Thank you for watching.